Well, welcome back to my students and to the people that saw this title. It's a little bit out of topic, but it Well, welcome back to my students and to the people that saw this title. It's a little bit out of topic, but it isn't. But because, as you probably know, there was a big fuss all around the world, especially on the FIFA World Cup, that we are, so they say, a racist country. And yeah, what? Well, if you are someone from another country and you want to learn about something about our history, I tell you this: stay, watch uh, all this video. Yeah, because you're gonna find out about a couple of things. And also, I strongly recommend you to study your own history. Especially if you're from Europe or from America. Well, let's start from the beginning. There's a myth, okay? This is a myth, and especially it was created by social media and on social. Everybody said, "No, we're not." Yes, you are. No, we're not. And this is like a trick, like a bait, like they say. In fact, the title of this video is a bait. Okay, I want to say hello to my students, especially to Leo Galante. Leo is one of my favorites. Even though you're not taking lessons with me, you go back and you'll love this. But I'm not going to talk about any conspiracy theories. I'm going to talk about facts. Since I am an English teacher and I am Argentinian, I'm going to give you a couple of things in order to understand why there's this common saying. I saw this on social, I think Instagram. This girl, I think she was a tourist walking on the streets of Buenos Aires, saying, I just can't believe that there aren't any African American people living here in Buenos Aires." And I said, African American people. Girl, girl, African American is a term that you use and not so long ago, because before that you used to be called black, and before that another word, the N word, that I'm not going to say because I don't want to have any problems. But we don't have African Americans because we're not Americans. We're Argentinians. And in any case, once again, you should study. Why don't you? Yeah, you got the internet. Okay, it's gonna be hard because people don't watch the whole videos, in its entirety. So I'll do my best. Well, there's a myth, okay? There's a myth about this thing of that it's a racist country because there are fewer black people in comparison. That, oh, another thing in the World Cup, why in Uruguay and Brazil there are black people, and Argentina national team there aren't. And there's a McAllister, and there are, like, these surnames. What kind of you're you're saying this? I mean, what kind of claim on race or racism is that? Because we have a football player that is a son of another football player that come with this wave of immigrants that I'm going to talk to you later, that happen to be Scottish. McAllister. Greetings to my Scottish friends over there. We support you support us on the World Cup. I know that, and on the Welsh people also, and all the Irish. they love us. Not the same with the English, but I'll talk about it later. Okay, so Argentina's population was shaped by first a massive European immigration, especially in the late 1800s, because we have this constitution. The Argentinian Republic started as such in with the constitution in 1853. There was a if you know Plaza de Mayo or the main square of Buenos Aires, that was the place where that was the May Revolution on May 25th, 1810. So that is the official date of the beginning of this process of independence that came true on July the 9th, 1816. And from that point on, that's another story, but okay, long story short, okay, we weren't yet the Republic, the Argentina, as you see the map right now. We were like the name was United Provinces of Rio de la Plata or something like that. And well, we finally do the constitution. That is the date or the year where the country as a republic is born, the whole thing. And the Patagonia was free. Uh, what happened in Patagonia? Patagonia is the southest part of the country, and there were a lot of originary inhabitants, as I don't know, Tehuelches or Mapuches. Well, there was something called ethnic cleansing then. There was a genocide in order to make room for this immigration that this president, crazy president, Roca was his name. And the president Roca in the year 1910, there's a phrase, you should Google it. He said, because we make, trading with the British Empire. At that time, the UK didn't exist. It was the British Empire. So the British Railway, yes, they all the railway system in Argentina was implemented by the British Railway Company. They make millions of pounds, and since they did this trading business, but we weren't partners. So the profits of all the British railways and the rest of the operation, all the money and the profits went straight to London. They never left any money here. So, but we felt part of the British Empire. So the President Roca said, and he invited the Queen, the Queen Mother, I think, or I don't remember, for the celebrations of the 100th anniversary in 1910 to Buenos Aires, and the Queen said, "What? No." And she sent, I don't know, some chancellor or some diplomatic. And but the idea at that time in the 1910, in the 20th century, is to make this Buenos Aires. If you've been to Buenos Aires, you can see that there's a special architecture. It's kind of like Avenida de Mayo, and this is the foundation of the city is kind of like a wannabe Petit Paris, right? Like Little Paris, or this European aspirational thing, because they wanted to be a white portion of Europe. As he said, we feel part of the British Empire. Yeah. If you wanna say any something, leave it in the comments. I love it, huh? Yeah, insult me. This video is gonna be great. Well, now moving on. So as a result, there was a campaign saying, okay, the doors of the country are open. Anybody can come to populate the soil of Argentina, and they extended the invitation to the Europeans. And they thought, okay, now Caucasians or German or French or English or no, Eastern Europeans, people from Ukraine, from Poland, from Belarus, from Lithuania, or even, well, running away from wars, Spaniards from running away from civil war, and most of all, and I wanna emphasize this, most of all, Italian anarchists that made the foundations of the workers' union, and that was something like a big landmark on the history of that immigration that we talked. And what happened next? Going back to the thing that we don't have any black people, because plus the originary people living here, in the different regions of this huge country, they started to get married and have children and another generations, and we are brown. We're not white. Look at me. I come from a Catalan family. I am like I don't look like a Nordic. No, I'm not Swedish. I am Romero, so more Hispanic than that. I don't know, but some people here, they perceive themselves as white. They say, "How do you see yourself in the mirror?" And they say white, and I say, "Oh, honey, maybe that's the reason why some people travel to or go to other countries, and there's a lot of ignorance, and they act with rude manners, and okay, sorry for that, because they don't represent us." And that is the ethnical question in terms of why there aren't black people. And now, over the last 15 years, there was a big wave of immigration from people from Senegal. So in a couple of years, guys, you will see, beautiful babies, biracial babies. No, no, uh, we don't say mulatto anymore. We say biracial. Another word. I'm up to date with the terms. Huh? Don't say mulatto. It's biracial. Beautiful. And maybe okay. You want black people? Here you go. No, but they're not brown, and they're not black enough. They look like what the name of the actor? They look like The Rock. This guy is not. What is he? Is he Maori? Is not African? Is not American? It has a strange tone. I don't know. But we're not colors. We are not colors. If you refer to the white people, you refer to the Caucasian Central European people. Okay, and we don't speak colors. I insist. We are people, and then the way we behave as a culture is important, because we never had slave trading like the Kingdom of Portugal had on Brazil and America, with a big, especially in the South. Guys, you know the story. Black History Month. Come on, I don't need to tell you anything if you speak English, or if you're American, or if you're okay. And don't make me start with the Europeans and the monarchies and the Belgium and Congo and blah blah. Okay, we never had slave trading here since the constitution since the beginning of this place as a republic. This was a free country, open to anybody with goodwill that wanted to populate Argentinian soil, as the introduction of the constitution say. So, am I make myself clear? That's why we don't have black people. And why don't we have black people in the national team? Because we are racist. No, for those reasons. And and we are a country of immigrants. I got a lot of friends, Irish friends, that they love us because they were oppressed by the British Empire for a long time. Welsh, there's a Welsh colony in Chubut in the Patagonia. Well, there's a little colony of people from they are Welsh. They're not okay. Wales is a country within the UK, but they speak a Celtic language that is Welsh, and they speak Welsh. Then they keep the traditions. Lovely place. The place is between Porto Madryn and Trevelin. It's called Gaiman. Go there and have a cup of tea. Welsh people love it. And there's a Welsh colony, and they all love us. They support also the national team in the World Cup, and of course the Scottish people, my friends from Glasgow, the lovely people from Edinburgh and from Glasgow. They are the best, the Scottish, and they are not British. They don't see themselves as British. Yeah, some people do, and some Northern Irish people. Yeah, I am a loyalist or something. But the Irish people are Irish. The Scottish are Scottish, and the Welsh are Welsh, and they have their own cultures. So now, who is racist right now? And don't make me start with India. And this video became too long. Okay. Now, what do you think? Guys, it's very frustrating. This video will. I'm not going to edit anything. Okay, I'm going to put it raw. There's a frustration that I see. I don't participate in these discussions on social media because I know that there's something behind this. Someone attacks you and you respond, and there's this feedback. I don't do that, but the rest of the people do, and there's this big snowball. It never ends, and it's frustrating because, especially on social media. They don't they skip the history lesson and they jump straight to say Argentinians racists. But some of those accusations are like, where are you from? I mean, yeah, if you're from Peru, if you're from no, some South Latin American country, we can talk about that. But we have the same national heroes, San Martin, Peru, or other American peoples, they call it founding fathers. We don't have such things as founding fathers. We have patriots like William Wallace, right? People that kicked up the Spanish. And once again, and now I'm wrapping up this video. I hope you like it. And sorry for my explosion, but why people is some days is weird. But there's a problem right now in Ceuta. It's a colony from Spain, has a colony in Africa. There are still colonies. This is the point. You know, Argentina stopped being a colony 200 years ago. You know, and we don't have a monarchy and we don't have kings. And my only king is Messi and Maradona, and I chose my kings. And some other people don't choose their kings. So you wouldn't. I mean, even though I say that, you would hate me. You would yeah, come, yeah, go fuck yourself. Okay, great. Give me more, give me more engaged. I love it. But I say it's a thing of education, and I see that the level of education of everybody and all over the world is the same. Guys, study history. Okay, study history and study your own history before you dare talking about Argentina. And finally, I love the Irish and I'll say Las Islas Malvinas Argentinas. Okay, see you in the next lesson. I hope you like this video. And if you didn't, okay, sorry. I didn't choose to be born in Argentina. I had the pleasure of be born in Argentina. See you in the next lesson. Bye.